Hey everyone, Tin Man here, and today I want to talk about negativity and specifically how it relates to the Underlords subreddit and the Underlords community as a whole. And before I get into it, I do want to say that I am still very positive about the outlook of the game. I really enjoy the game a whole lot. I think the game lengths are a little bit long, but if you cut that down by a little bit, maybe down from 40 or 50 minutes down to like 30 to 35 minutes, I think that would be great. But other than that, I don't have any major complaints about gameplay, but a lot of other people do, and that's understandable. People have different perspectives and they like different things in games, and it's undeniable that there's a lot of complaints out there and like suggestions to improve this, to improve that, to fix whatever, balance or whatever it might be. There are complaints out there. And so specifically, there was this post this morning on the Underlords subreddit by Havoc June here that says we need to lower the drama a bit because there's been a lot of drama, a lot of complaints about big streamers and other players leaving, and they kind of go into talking about how the game's still in beta and it's constantly being updated every week. There's a big update, it seems, and basically saying that if to tone down the drama a little bit, to be a little bit more positive, I guess, be more constructive and less rants and hating, etc. And if we look around the Underlord subreddit, we can kind of see that. There's that's one of the top posts right now, but there's some things that are just like interesting concepts to like completely revamp the game, which is kind of like a thinly veiled. Obviously great that they made this new concept, but it's also kind of like there's a problem with the game that we need to make something interesting. There's some leaks. There's some things that are a little bit positive, bug reports, typical things. But there's even something like yet another armchair dev thread. Like this is clearly self-aware that people know that these things are overdone, and yet they're doing them anyway. And just so on. There's a whole lot of these negativities, things to fix, new ideas for new content, and less about what's fun about the game right now and what you really like, and ideas to fix RNG and things like that, and where like promotions of tournaments get 10 upvotes, which is just absurd to me. Meanwhile, other complaints about things that are going bad get hundreds and hundreds. Anyway, so I made a response to this post talking about how I think the problem right now is in rule number 1 of the subreddit, which, among other things, bans low-effort content, which is a very common theme that other subreddits do. Low-effort content can include, but is not limited to, any of the following: brawny unit HP/kills, victories, acquiring one of many copies of one item, shop rolls, enlarging effects of Bloodbound, any number of 3 stars of any tier, high round numbers, Legion Commander damage, jail message, freestyle builds, promotions, or point totals, like rank promotions, or scoreboards or end of game screens of any kind. So I get why this rule exists, right? I say, yes, I get the constantly spamming posts about this gets old really quick, especially to somebody who doesn't want to see the 50th post about Bloodbound units getting huge. But I also think that, on the other hand, these are the cool things about the game. These are what's fun. This is what's memorable to brand new players. It's like, oh my god, I just made this weird Bloodbound build, and my guy grew the huge size of the whole screen. And like, that's fun, that's interesting, that's memorable for those players. We even see somebody respond to the comments saying, yeah, that somebody's life take here is fairly newish and got the first perfect win the other day. That's awesome. I can't remember the last time I got a perfect win, and they got it a few weeks into being in the game. That's amazing for them. They posted the screenshot of a perfect win, insta-deleted. Like, how upset do you have to be if you're a brand new player and you're like, hey, I just got this cool thing? Like, yeah, it's one thing to not get too many upvotes, right? Okay, yeah, people don't upvote it, they don't care. But to have it like instantly removed by the mods, I get it's according to the rule as written. But, this affected me just the other day as well. Yesterday, I tried to do something very similar. I had a post that I wanted to post a screenshot of the end game screen that was like, it was legitimately one of the most enjoyable games I've ever played. Probably the most enjoyable game of Underlords I've ever played. I played it yesterday on stream, and this was the screenshot of the endgame. I got first place playing a 3-star Legion Commander build. I had Legion Commander, I had 4 Heartless, I had Hunters, Demons, Bloodbound, Champion, and Brutes. I thought this build was awesome. It was fun. It was exciting. It crushed the lobby, and it wasn't just any old lobby of like a bunch of low-ranked players that I would just crush. I was playing against top 50 Lord players. G. Ryslin, Moranich, Sunsmile, BBG, Alf. Like, these are really, really good players that I've played in highly competitive tournaments with, and we were playing in a very competitive ladder setting, and I crushed them with a meme build, the Legion Commander build. And I wanted to share it because it was so exciting, it was so interesting. I thought it was awesome. Posted on Reddit, deleted within minutes by the mods. And I'm not here to argue that it shouldn't have been deleted, because very clearly that is exactly what this rule says. So fair play, it's exactly what the rules say. But on the other hand, other subreddits have a similar-ish rule about low-effort content. I mean, we can go over to, say, Teamfight Tactics, one of the biggest competitors to Dota Underlords. And we look down there, their subreddit, and we see some fan-made content, we see some memes, we see some suggestions. But this is kind of like this isn't a suggestion that's thinly veiled as a complaint. This is kind of like oh, here's a new feature that I think would be cool. But then we see, bam, this is exactly what I posted. The end of game screenshot with all the star levels and the units. I mean, it gets hundreds of upvotes. It's maybe not the most upvoted thing on the subreddit, but it's there. It's been up there for a full day, and people are talking about it. Scroll down, we see another one right here about. This is literally just a screenshot. This is even less, and the title is even less informative. It just says anyone having 8 3-stars. Like, this would be removed on site in Underlords subreddit. And not to say that this is like the best kind of content, but it's content where it's like, people see it and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then you just pass by if you don't like it. Like, it's not polluting the subreddit by any means. I mean, there's some other ones that a little bit less. People posting screenshots like something like this would get removed on site. It's simply a screenshot of your comp. But it's been up for an hour. There's other ones that have been up for several hours. But those would absolutely get removed on site in the Underlords subreddit. We can even go over to like Clash Royale, another like freemium kind of mobile game that I play on occasion. And they have a similar rule, the subreddit that says no low effort, low quality posts. But we scroll down through here and we see plenty of things that are simply just replays, which or videos of like a short clip of 20 or 30 seconds of gameplay, which is essentially, to me, the functional equivalent of a screenshot of the endgame screen from Underlords. Because yes, it's a clip, but it's because it is a real-time action game, and it's there's a replay feature built in, so it's kind of a lot easier to make that clip as opposed to an Underlords where you don't have that replay feature. So to me, these are the equivalent replays of the endgame screenshots. And it's not to say that there isn't negativity in these subreddits. I mean, there are still ideas and recommendations and like complaints to some extent about the situation on the game, but it's kind of counteracted by the fact that there's so many of these people having fun posts, right? And yet all of these subreddits do have the same kind of role. We see in TFT, it has screenshots can be used as supporting evidence, but clearly that's not enforced quite as strictly as it is over on Underlords, where we don't see any such thing here, other than bug reports, which that's the only screenshots I've ever seen, is bug reports. Or if it's a clip, it's not a gameplay clip. It's a clip about somebody talking about the game. It's not a clip of the actual gameplay. So I understand why this rule came into effect, because at some point the mod said, hey community, what rules do you want? The community talked to them, people made comments, people upvoted or downvoted comments of rules they liked, and it was democracy, essentially. You try to respond to whatever is most popular or least popular, and then you make the rules according to that. But democracy works whenever everyone is making their own, like looking out for their own best interests. But I would argue that the role of a video game community, such as a subreddit, should not be to look out for the best interests of the people who are always on the subreddit. It should be to be an inviting place to new players to come and learn about the game and to engage with the community of the game. And also support people who are, it shouldn't just be a new player experience, but it should be an approachable place where somebody who has not played the game should be able to come in and be able to get into the community. It should be the entryway to the community. And I think that the way the rules are currently written and enforced, it is not serving that goal. it's serving the goal of we're trying to cater to the entrenched veterans who have played hundreds of games and have already seen the big effect of Bloodbounds hundreds of times, and it's boring to them and they don't want to see it anymore. So I'm not saying the mods did anything bad or that these rules are wrong, because I think the mods acted very fairly in all these cases according to the rules as written. I just think that maybe we should, as a community, come to consider that, there may be a lot of negativity, but it might not be because there's only negativity. It might be because we're moderating out content that actually acts as kind of a counterweight. Some of these, more positive things that we see, in addition to the complaints that we see on other subreddits. So I don't have a solution, because obviously these are two competing interests. I personally don't want to see hundreds of Bloodbound posts every day, but I'd like to see once in a while, right? I like to see a couple. I'd like to see a bit more fun and interesting things happening. So I would like to say that even if you can't share your fun and interesting experience on Reddit or somewhere else, that I want to see it. I want to hear about it. So let me know of all these fun experiences that you've had in the comments down here below on YouTube. Send me a screenshot of it on Twitter at tinman354, or talk to me and tell me about your crazy and wacky build and win on Twitch, where I stream every day at twitch.tv/tinman354. Just I want to hear those, and I want to give people the opportunity to engage with the community about the fun that they're having in the game, and not to say there's nothing wrong, not to say that you can't complain and offer suggestions, but there needs to be a counterbalance, and currently there just isn't, given the current state of the community and the way the moderation works. So I don't have a great solution, but I hope by just bringing this up and talking about it, maybe we can come to a solution as a community. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time.